2 years ago, there was a similar mid-air collision up in the town of Lancaster. One plane came down in the town of Lancaster, the other one came down in the town of Alden. But it was a day very similar to this one, a very, what you would think would be perfect flying weather, clear, sunny day.
Today, officials talked about another tragic plane crash that happened 2 years ago. 14-year-old James Metz and his 78-year-old pilot Anthony Mercurio were killed when their small plane collided with another one. It happened mid-air during an event organized by the local chapter of the Experimental Aircraft Association. Authorities have told us pilot error caused that crash. Even though there have been 2 mid-air collisions in western New York in the last 2 years, an aviation expert tells News 4 this is an extremely rare event. Pilot Bob Miller says there are less than a dozen similar crashes in the United States each year. Miller tells us today the planes were flying in a formation, which is when 2 or more aircraft fly together. It's a skill he says is safe and is used all the time, but if the planes do get too close or one pilot isn't watching the other, they can collide. He says a crash like this comes down to pilot error.
Sometimes on a bright day like today, you can lose the other aircraft in the sun. And when that happens, there's temporary blindness. There are blind spots on an airplane. And flying in formation, of course, both pilots are constantly looking out for each other. But when you're flying in a pattern where you're not expecting anybody up real close, your attention may be diverted momentarily to something else.
He says planes like this fly at about 2 miles a minute, so an accident can happen very quickly.